on, stranger, and welcome aboard. We better do a little target practice here to get you started. See, can you hit that dynamite?
This entire scene is basically just a tutorial. Nothing bad happens if you miss, but if you do hit them, they're worth points.
Not bad.
Why is there a bundle of dynamite strapped to this random pole by the side of the road? I don't think you should be shooting dynamite as you ride past it.
Shoot that skull, it's strong medicine. Good shot.
On some versions, it'll give you the cow skull bonuses as well.
Put a bullet in that sign.
Just some casual vandalism.
Oh, looks like that prospector ran into a porcupine, one with feathers.
Stranger, this is a map to the gold. The Padre has the other half. Watch out for Mad Dog.
Okay, now things get serious. Even dead guys are afraid of falling horses.
Hey, partner, we better get into town. Here, Duke, Pepper, let's go here. Here, come on.
There's a cow skull on this scene. Whether or not it works on your version is another matter. Depending on the version, this scene might be mandatory, the game might advance if you lose a life, or you might even get sent back to the previous scene. I just found out that at least a PS3 version actually has this scene as random. Sometimes it'll just skip the first guy.
You look honest, my friend. Find a treasure, return it to the mission, and receive your reward in heaven. Choose your guide.
Okay, you have a choice to make here. Each guide will take you on a different path through the game. Overall, I would say Buckskin Bonnie is the easiest. The Professor is definitely the hardest. Depending on the version, if you lose a life, you are sent back to this screen. On other versions, you might be sent here after a continue. You will not lose any progress, but you could choose another guide if you want. Let's just go ahead and cover the showdowns, because this is the earliest you can possibly see them, even though I'm sure it's still even later, but no other place to put them. Otherwise, they can occur at just about any time in the game, whether it be after another scene or after a continue. On most versions, they're not mandatory. I don't need to specify that these are showdowns, right? On some versions, the showdown scenes may be flipped.
Hey, stranger. Go ahead. Make my day.
Hey, hombre! See how fast you are!
Hands down the easiest duel. On some versions, your gun isn't even unloaded and you can shoot them whenever you want. Okay, this one's a lot harder for obvious reasons, but it's always the guy on the left that draws. Or if the scene is flipped, it's the guy on the right. The most important thing to know here is it's the guy completely opposite the wall. This scene is easily confused with the previous one. As long as you can recognize which scene you've got, you know who to shoot. There are two big clues. First of all, they both have different music. The other clue is the second to left guy wiggles his fingers around a bunch on scene 5.
Choose your guide.
Now, before we begin, depending on the version, some of the scenes you get are preset, and they could occur on any route, so I will note them. It may also throw off the order of scenes, or you might even get more than the usual 6. Man, this is a really casual execution. They're both just waiting so patiently. This guy might not be trying to shoot you, but you gotta shoot him to save your guide's life.
Shooting beaver owes you a life. I don't want to hang out here. Come, we go.
Great job playing dead, buddy. Hey, that guy looks an awful lot like Shooting Beaver.
Quickest way to treasure through Indian land. Very dangerous for stranger. Very dangerous.
Lever of White Eyes!
This guy will shoot your guide, but it still costs a life.
Nice shot.
There's a cow skull on this scene. This part is random. There are 6 possibilities. This guy can be tricky to spot. Eventually, the scene becomes fixed.
This is bad, my friend.
What your guide says next is preset. There are 3 possibilities.
You must shoot fast at the firewater. You must shoot fast at the ammo box. You must shoot fast at the lantern.
You're gonna want to remember that. You will not need to worry about it for the next scene, though. There's a cow skull on this scene. I am pretty certain this scene is fixed on almost every version, but on at least one, it's random to a certain extent. I don't think it's supposed to be because it has a pretty obvious continuity error.
Your bullets are faster than arrows.
Let go of me, you low-life!
This guy will actually shoot you with the gun he's got in his hand, which leaves me wondering what he was planning to do with that stick of dynamite.
I got a short fuse too, stranger.
Got a light?
Come on, partner, let's go find that treasure. Yeehaw!
There's a cow skull on this scene. That sword didn't help him any. He doesn't look very Mexican to me. Was he just hiding in that basket all day on the off chance that somebody came by? Another guy with a gun and a stick of dynamite? Was he gonna shoot you and then throw the dynamite at you? What's the point? There's a cow skull on this scene. This part is a showdown. The rest of the scene is not.
We're getting close to the big X, partner. You and me, we could go a long way with that goat.
I have no clue what the hell he just said. This guy will shoot your guide, but it still costs a life.
I owe you a favor, partner, and I won't forget it. Your seat's been in the saddle a long time, partner. Come on in. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Blast those dirty peeping toms! I love the way you pull the trigger. You can say goodbye to the treasure.
What your guide says next is preset. There are 3 possibilities.
Unless you can hit that moonshine. Unless you can hit the ammo box. Unless you can hit the lantern.
You're gonna want to remember that. You will not need to worry about it for the next scene, though. Sneaky guy.
You're a straight shooter.
Gentlemen, my elixir will cure you with alcoholism, lost manhood, and the common cold.
Professor, you're a cheat and a swindler.
This guy will shoot your guide, but it still costs a life. Why are these people pulling guns on you? They do not look like members of Mad Dog's gang. This part has a cow skull. Man, those swinging railings are really not safe.
Rangers, you best get out of town. Mad Dog knows you got the map.
Come, my friend. You have the map, and I bloody will have the way. A little traveling music, Sam.
Well, that was easy.
Bloody Mad Dog? He's robbing the train. Spitting distance of that treasure now, friend.
Take that map.
This guy will shoot your guide, but it still costs a life.
I'm eternally grateful to you, friend.
On at least one version, the cheap shot will actually kill you, so you gotta be proactive.
We might as well say goodbye to each other and the treasure, friend.
What your guide says next is preset. There are 3 possibilities.
Unless you're good enough to hit the bloody gin jug. Unless you're good enough to hit the bloody ammo box. Unless you're good enough to hit the bloody lantern.
You're gonna want to remember that. You will not need to worry about it for the next scene, though. This part is random. There are 4 possibilities. This guy takes longer to pop up than anybody else, sometimes really long. Depending on the version, eventually the scene will end here, or the scene becomes fixed. Once again, on at least one version, the cheap shot will kill you.
Ooh, I think you hurt that fellow.
All the paths will convene at this one scene. At least one version of the game will send you back to the previous scene if you repeatedly die here. Does something look a little familiar? Don't worry about it yet. This part is random. There are 3 possibilities. This guy pops out the fastest. Eventually the scene becomes fixed. Depending on the version, this guy is not part of the random set. He'll actually appear at this point, probably because he causes a continuity error, but at any rate, this will eventually happen. Apparently nothing. Now is when you want to shoot whatever it is you were told to shoot. You gotta be quick or else.
You good shot, White Eyes.
Well, kiss my... Well, that was right on.
Jolly good shot.
Now the scene becomes random. There are 7 possibilities. This guy's part of the random set too, but he might not appear until you get through a full set. This guy pops out the fastest. He may also be hard to see on your version. This guy's got 2 parts.
I have brought you to the place of the treasure. It is bad medicine for me to go further. May your days be good.
This is as far as I go.
Well, old man, it looks like you're going to have to push on without me.
At this point, you're on the final stretch. If you lose a life, you'll just go back to whatever scene you died on. You no longer get to choose another guide.
I've been keeping tabs on you, stranger. You done pretty good, but it ain't over yet. I'm getting out of here.
This scene is random. There are 5 possibilities. He takes the longest to appear, but he fires fast when he does. Keep your eyes peeled for anybody else, but if no one appears, you know it's gonna be him.
That's straight shooting, partner. Now for the big one. The treasure's right in front of you. Take a look and shoot your luck.
Whatever the hell that means. Well, in case you can't figure it out, you gotta shoot the cow skull that appears on the screen in a random location. But don't take too long about it.
We best get this on the train before Mad Dog gets us.
We got an easy ride of it now, partner. That's got to be the last of Mad Dog's men. And we still got the gold. God, they stick like rotten glue. Let's get them. Get up there. I'll stay with the gold.
This guy's gonna shoot the prospector, but in this game, saving him is mandatory.
I appreciate that.
Don't worry about the guy working the switch. Shoot the guy with the rifle. Switching the tracks when the train is going this direction makes no difference. Even though if you mess this part up, this happens.
did it, Padre. If my partner back there's as honest as he can shoot straight, you're in the money.
Oh my, it's a cauldron of the devil's own making in that town. Mad Dog has taken over. Good luck.
Did you see that? I bet there's a gunman hiding in that shack. Yep. I don't know if you're supposed to see this guy getting into the trowel, but don't worry about him. This is the guy you want to shoot next. I don't know why this guy doesn't just shoot you.
Enough! This is it, stranger. Go ahead. You're already a dead man.
Alright, kiddies, this is a showdown against Mad Dog McCree. Now, if you played the previous game, you might remember there was a trick to beating him. This game doesn't tell you it, but it still applies. In the older versions, you gotta shoot him in the head. In the newer releases, you shoot him in the arm instead, which admittedly makes sense. This is also a showdown. Once again, you might have to hit him in the head, but on newer versions, just about anywhere suffices. What happens next depends on how well you do. If your score is at least 10,000 points, you get the ending. As far as I know, the requirement is the same across all versions. If not...
Dad! This is what I risked my bloody life for?
Dirt is gold, just part of the earth.
I had planned to do so much good with it. Now I guess I'll never get to see Rome.
How about Paris, Padre? Who took it?
Well, don't look at me. My hands are clean. Mad Dog. Or maybe you should have played a better game.
At this point, you can choose one of the two remaining guides and try to beat the game again. If you come up short again, you can beat the game a third time with the last guide, and then you'll automatically get the good ending. Third time's the charm, I guess. Some versions only have the good ending. Executive Producer Robert Grebe, Director David O. Roberts, Director of Photography Barry Kirk, Production and Assistant Director Les Wells, Art Director Kylene Wing, Art Director Assistant Mickey Edelman, Stylist Nancy Harvin, Props Assistant Mary Gendrich, Wardrobe Carolyn Fleming, Wardrobe Assistant Lori Dillon, Seamstress Kathy Rice, Makeup slash hair, Merle Dean Sanchez. That guy still has like the greatest name. Makeup slash hair assistant, Gina Lamendola. Stunt coordinator, Rusty Dillon. Special effects coordinator, Dieter Sturm. Special effects foreman, Yvonne Sturm. Special effects construction. Okay, I've never heard of that before. Bart Slade. Key grip, Mike Lamb. Best boy, Bob Willis. Gaffer, George Welch. Electrician, John Stearns. Engineer, Steve Denning. Sound recordist, Eric Williams. Script clerk, Peggy Durkin. Production assistant, John Dwyer. Gun wrangler, Utah Connor. Gun wrangler assistant, Steve Harrow. Paul Sinich. Livestock, Tim Carroll. Wrangler, Tom Berto. Craft service, Linda Pate. Catering, Evergreen Catering, ready to cater. Transportation and vehicles, Lindsay Elliott, Wayne Elliott, Bill Saylor. Construction crew, Jorge Andrade, Chris Dowling, Pat B. Garcia, Jerry King, Lynn Osborne, Ben Zeller, Carl Zeller. Paramedics, Lisa Collier, Greg Sandoval, Henry Towles, Terrell Treat. Still photographer, Ralph Genter. Office manager for Southwest Productions, Rebecca Beal. Assistant to production, Michelle Scutty. Buckskin Bonnie, played by Kristen Greer. Mad Dog McCree by Rusty Dillon. Padre by K.E. Bibu. Professor by Clifford Volk. Prospector by Lee James O'Donnell. Shooting Beaver by Ruben Marino. Stagecoach Driver by Ben Zeller. Alright, that was the prospector in the first game. I'm guessing the other prospector was the guy that was riddled with arrows. He was also in Space Pirates. Undertaker by Carol Eason. He also played the role in the first game, and a similar role in Who Shot Johnny Rock. Stunt performers, Al Cantu, Lori Dillon, Rusty Dillon, Joey Hamlin, Jerry King, Michael Pritchard, Wally Welch. Filmed in New Mexico on location at Cumbres and Toltec Railroad. Bonanza Creek Ranch. Is that where they filmed the TV show? J.W. Eve's Western Movie Town. The Pelmore Estate. Special thanks to Gerald Blitt, Cumbres and Toltec Railroad. Glenn Hughes at the Bonanza Creek Ranch. J.W. Eve's Western Movie Ranch. Was that a mistake? Well, if he has an entire town, there's probably a ranch in there somewhere. Tom Pelmore Estate. Very special thanks to David Allen May of the New Mexico Gunfighters Association. Post-production facility, 32nd Street, Limited. Senior editor, Gregory J. Kiernan. Graphics design, Kelly Lugin. Audio post-production by John Wagner Recording Studios. Another interactive production by American Laser Games and Southwest Production. Copyright 1992. ICAT and American Laser Games. Choo, 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 choo.